Well, 2020 is the year to remember for all the wrong reasons, and my heart goes out to anyone that has been affected by the global pandemic. It's definitely going to leave a scar on the world going forward. Here in Western Australia, we've been pretty lucky and it affords us certain freedoms at the moment. And so it's really cool that we can end the year on a high here at the December meet of classic cars and coffee. We've got over 600 exotic European and classic cars to go and check out. So let's end 2020 with a bang at the December meet of classic cars and coffee. Well, the event officially opens at 8:30 and it is 8:30 and the first car park is already jam full. So let's go for a walk and see who we can find to talk about their very interesting cars. I'm here with Joel, and he's got a car that's, if I'm correct, made famous by Harry Potter, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? All right. Tell us a bit about it.
So this is a 1962 105e Anglia. It was my sister-in-law's car that had been sitting there for ages, sort of gathering a bit of dust and way too much rust. So I needed a new car, and this one was there, so we decided we'd do a project.
It looks pretty clean now. I'd say there's a lot of work gone into this.
Yeah, it was 18 months of pretty much every day, just finding time whenever you could.
Yeah.
Somehow we got it done in between moving houses, so we're halfway through, shifted everything, finished it.
Wow, you've done an amazing job.
Yeah.
What's the best part of the car for you?
Look, I think I drive this every day. It's the only car I've got. So, look, for me, I love sitting in a car like this. I don't know, you just kind of feel like you're rolling in differently, and
well, there's definitely no computers, no traction control, nothing to help you, right?
No, there's no safety net. This is it. It's hot in summer, it's cold in winter, but I don't know. I think I just feel a bit more connected to it all. So it's just a good start for the day. Look, I've been pretty fortunate. We ended up with a pretty good engine that we, tuned up really nicely, and I haven't really had any issues. It doesn't leak anything.
That's good.
I do make sure it stays that way, but look, reliability has been good. There's been a few times where you get caught out and you just got to make the call and say, hey, I'm going to be late. The car's got this, the car's got that. But yeah, thankfully it's been rolling pretty well, and hopefully it stays that way.
Well, it looks absolutely amazing. Thank you for your time.
No worries, cheers.
I've come across Gary and Mo, and they have a very extraordinary car. It looks like something out of Thunderbirds, but they're going to tell me what it actually is and how you got it.
It's a classic Tiffany. It's made by the Classic Motor Carriages Company in America.
1988?
1988, and we bought it at an online auction.
Wow.
3 clicks of a mouse and we owned a new car. Very, very dangerous thing to do on a weekend.
Sure, absolutely. What is it underneath all this fancy bodywork?
There is a Ford
5-litre V8.
V8 engine underneath.
So it actually moves pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
It does, and it steers surprisingly easily. You'd think, being such a big car, it would be hard to drive, but It's actually very easy to drive, and roundabouts are not a problem. I don't know about chicanes. We haven't tried those yet.
Haven't tried those yet.
No,
so
no.
I understand you've only had it for a week?
Yep.
Yes, we picked it up
Alright.
a week ago Thursday, so we think she's driven more in the last week than she's ever done in a year.
That's quite possible. Yeah. So being a 1980s car, what sort of mod cons have we got inside?
Actually, more than you'd think. There's automatic headlight dimming.
Oh, wow.
There's a key lock on the side, so you can open all the doors without a key, as long as you know the code. Air conditioning, power steering, cruise control. And the seats are like the most comfy armchair you have ever sat in.
I was going to say,
so comfortable.
This looks like an awesome Grand Tourer. Yes.
It was marketed originally for celebrities. It was 40% more expensive than a new Porsche 911 when they made it.
You even had to pay for the brochure before they sent it to you. So it was.
You're certainly going to get a lot of attention, aren't you? Right?
It's hard to sneak around it.
It is hard to sneak around it.
Very hard.
But we think there's one other one in Australia.
Well, however many there are, it's very cool. And thank you very much for coming down with
Yeah,
us.
thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Survivor car, and the fellow that did bring it in from America, I'm the second owner, has a very good eye for finding these honest original cars. I actually went to his house to look at a Imperial, and then he slid open the shed and said, "You might like this," and then forget the Imperial.
Yeah, exactly.
I honed straight into the Dodge Coronet 1950. They weren't an expensive car in the day. This was a family car. I think it's called a two-door sedan because it's got the high roof.
Have you got any plans for this one?
I might give it a little bit of a hand polish. I might do some work on the interior, on the upholstery.
Yeah.
But other than that, just drive it and enjoy it for a few years and maybe eventually let it go.
Yeah, okay.
Let it go to a new owner. The build sheet was still under the back seat for the car.
Get out.
Yep. So I've got the original build sheet, which is just
that's so
phenomenal.
cool.
You know that survived, and it was optioned with a very rare reverse light, which looks like they went down to the local boating place and bought a navigation light. I suppose my attraction to barn fresh cars is that they tell a story, they have a life, and you just don't have to be precious with them. When you drive a car like this, you're transported to that time.
Absolutely.
You're taken to that time and going, well, okay, that was what it was like to drive in the 50s.
Yeah.
That's what the brakes were like.
That's what the safety systems were not like.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of, it's a time machine.
Well, I think it's amazing, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. Thank you, Alistair.
You're welcome.
Hey Terry, how you going?
How's it going? What do you
Good.
want to know?
Tell me about your car. It's very shiny, very red. Tell me what it is to start
Very
with.
red. MGB, it's a 1971 Roadster model.
And Terry was just telling me what a dream it is to drive. Is this the first MGB you've had, or have you had
It is the
couple?
first MGB I've had. When I was younger, I had a Datsun Fairlady Sports 2000. Not a lot of people know what they are, but basically a Japanese version of one of these. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And the amount of times I wish I never sold it, and this is actually kind of a replacement for it.
Well, I don't think you've done too badly, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
He was telling me there's a few trick things under the engine bay, so shall we pop the bonnet outside?
Look. Basically standard engine, Moss supercharger kit. The guy I bought it off fitted that, and adds a fair bit of power. I don't know exactly how much extra power it adds, but what it does add is drivability. The torque that it gives the motor just makes it superb, a pleasure to drive, like at low speed around town because you've got that extra torque, and on the highway when you open it up, it's just beautiful.
And what's your favourite part about the car?
Driving it.
Driving it. Alright. Well, that's what we all like to do, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you very much for your time.
Sweet.
Deryck, another massive show as we close out 2020.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful time this time of the year because we get our biggest single turnout. So we had north of 600 cars today. You know, everything from that beautiful V16 Cadillac Seville through the latest models of Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches, but most importantly, some really classic old vintage cars and etc. Lamborghinis.
And some Lamborghinis, I can hear. Yeah.
So yeah, we're delighted, and we had 14 volunteers that turned up to help us today, which is fabulous, and the charity that did so well out of this, which is the Prostate Cancer Foundation.
Such a worthy cause. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a joy to share this, and January 24 is our next one, and we'd probably still see about 400 cars at that one coming through. And so normally, of course, it's in the management school car park at the other end of Hackett Drive, where we've got about 300 we can park, and then we've got an underground car parking area also. So
excellent. So mark that day in your calendar. 2021 Classic Cars and Coffee, business as usual.
Business as usual. We look forward to seeing
bigger and better every year. So
yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for organising. It's just amazing seeing all these cars come out of sheds and be displayed for people like me to see and Joe Public.
Look, and for us to see. We're enjoying it too. So look, on behalf of Paul Blank and Natalie and myself and the team of volunteers, thank you for supporting the Prostate Cancer Foundation, and thank you for coming along and displaying your beautiful cars. We adore them.
And as the last cars roll out of the car park here at the University of WA, that brings a close to Classic Cars and Coffee for December 2020. A huge thanks to everyone that I spoke to for giving me your time to talk about your pride and joy. Massive thanks to Paul and Deryck for organising, and of course all the volunteers who make this run so smoothly. I want to wish all of you guys a happy new year, and I hope 2021 brings you everything that you want. Remember guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys are thinking, and of course consider subscribing if you want to see more of this kind of stuff in the future. But from me, it's goodbye. I'll see you next year. Ciao.